Hey, it's Jay, and welcome back to Breath of the Wild. Today I've got a few things that I like to take care of. Most of this is going to be a mute stream. I'm just going to have the footage and game audio while I listen to other things because I'm going for some of the more grindy shit that I need to focus on. We're going to go after the 2 horse mini games. If I'm really starting with the obstacle course, we might skip out of it, and then I'm going to try the trial of the sword. I'm pretty confident I can do the horseback archery. I'm pretty confident I can do the beginner and middle trials of the sword, but the horse obstacle course and the end trials are both going to be pretty grindy, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to try them. I don't know how it's going to go, though. And I will be checking in to, talk in on, some of the strats I heard before I try some of the things, and I will be checking in once I actually beat them to, read the final dialogue and whatnot. But before we start that sort of grindy shit to kind of warm me up at least a little bit. I wanted to do something. Oh, actually, I don't have any game audio right now, but that is fine. I can. I'll fix that when I start the podcast. Because you guys don't really need the game audio because you can't really hear it anyway. Before we begin, though, I'm going to start using Amiibo. I had a few Amiibo prior to starting this sort of Let's Play, but I didn't have any Zelda Amiibo. When I killed Ganon, though, I decided to treat myself a little bit, and I purchased the Champions Amiibo pack. I don't think we're going to grind out for their exclusive helms right this moment, but I did want to scan them in to kind of see what happens. So we're going to start with Urbosa. Which one do I tap her on? Just to the NPC touchpoint. I thought that this was the NPT touchpoint, but I guess it isn't. Can you tell I never used Amiibo before? I thought it was a little square, but it's pointing to the Joy-Con here. Huh? Oh, I have to close the menu first. Okay. No, it's not that one. Is it the one I thought that it was, then? No, it's not. Oh, okay, that is the joystick. I thought it was a little square. Okay, this is what Urbosa dropped, because I'm raw meat. They all got, I've seen some people use Amiibo in this game before. Essentially, it's a chest with some loot, and then either loose items or boxes full of items, depending on the character. So, what did we get? That's weird. Why are you floating? Radiant Shield. So, yeah, Gerudo Shield. That makes sense for the Gerudo character. Okay, I will try Rivali next. I've got lots of fruit for Rivali. That's quite cool. The wild berries, that kind of makes sense. Is that a key sign? No, it's an apple. But there's a little yellow at the top there for a second. Falcon Bow. So far reeling their gear and weapons, which is kind of interesting. I don't really need another bow, though, so that's okay. Mifa. Mifa? Are you not reading Mifa? Why is this not doing anything? Okay, there we go. Fish, of course. Makes sense. Zora, of course, would drop fish. Oh! Well, there we go. The Vahruta Divine Helm, a treasure gifted to one who controls... I don't know why I have an alarm right now. I think I forgot to turn my alarms off. Hold on. That kind of interrupts the mood. Okay. The Vahruta Divine Helm, a treasure gifted to the one who controls Divine Beast Vahruta and is a user with enhanced abilities. Okay, so these are the main things that you want to get off of these Amiibo. Each of them has a sort of buff related to the element of that champion. And also, I think you can upgrade them. I'm not sure if you can upgrade the whole 4 tiers, but you can at least upgrade them once with Ancient Cores. Now, the method that you're supposed to use is supposed to save, tap the Amiibo, and then if the chest doesn't have what you have, you reload the save because you're only allowed to use them once a day. But I figured doing that grind for the helms, I'll do that off camera. But I think once I have all 4 of the helms, I might like show them off and like upgrade them on camera. I think would be a smart thing to do. But I wasn't expecting to get one right away. That's kind of cool. They actually have like a pretty low drop rate. I think it's like 6% or something like that. Okay, next up is Daruk. He worked just fine. Of course, he drops a bunch of rocks. I'm assuming that means that flint and salt are tasty for Gorons. And a Stone Smasher with a long throw. That's kind of cool. Don't really need one of those because we just finished the Talos hunt, but, you know, it's something. And then I might as well tap some of my other amiibo that I have got. They just kind of drop, like, random loot. You know, nothing, like, exclusive to The Legend of Zelda. They just treat it as standard amiibo. Although also, of course, you know, because, you know, game updates and whatnot, this one's not working. Working? They're a bit fiddly, aren't they? Some of them they go right away, some of them you kind of gotta coax in. Well, that's okay. I won't bother with those two then. But yeah, like use the non-Zelda amiibo and it's just random crap that drops. Okay, so the next thing that I kind of want to go for is the Horseback Archery Course. Before I go to that, though, I do want to get some more arrows, and I do want to get a new ancient bow. Before I actually play the course, though, I will do the arrow farming after I meet the stream, and then we'll go to it. Before I get the go after that, though, I thought I'd start to talk a little bit like some of the strategies that I've heard. Some people recommend using the Phrenic and Golden bows because of the zoom in, the sniper view, and some people recommend using the ancient bow because it has like a basically straight shot. And so with those 3 bows, you'll basically hit your cross every time. Of course, the problem with those bows is because they can like zoom in a bit, is that when you're going like fast enough on the horse, it can be hard to actually hit them. So other people recommend using a multi-shot bow, preferably the 5-shot multi-shot bow, because then if you're like one of your arrows misses, maybe the other arrows will hit, and so it's not really that big of a problem. The other thing that I've heard a lot of people recommend is using bomb arrows. And at first, I wasn't sure how I felt about that. At first, I was planning on using regular arrows for a while, and if I couldn't get it after like half an hour, then I'd switch over to the bomb arrows. But apparently, the guy who holds the mounted archery, because I felt like that was the bomb arrows, the explosion can hit multiple balloons at once, but I felt that was like a little bit against like the spirit of the challenge. But the guy who gives you the mounted horseback archery challenge also sells you bomb arrows, apparently. So this is like an intended thing from the developers. This is like a way you're supposed to beat the puzzle. So I guess I will use the bomb arrows, but I'll buy regular arrows anyway, just because. Apparently, in order to get, I think it's the bridle, you have to get 20 balloons. The saddle, you get 23. It might be the other way around. The one thing I am curious about is how this game would handle hard scores, because in some games, if you beat the hard mode before you beat the easy mode, you'll get both the easy and the hard mode reward. In a lot of Nintendo games, especially Mario Odyssey was really bad about this, if you beat the hard mode before you beat the easy mode, it will give you the easy mode reward, and then you have to beat hard mode again to get the hard mode reward. Now, based on how the shield surfing worked when we played that earlier, I'm thinking that this game operates off if you beat the hard mode before the easy mode, you get the hard mode reward, and then if you beat the easy or hard mode, then you'll get the easy mode reward. That's how I think it works, at least. So I'm going to try and get 23 arrows the first time, but I might only get 20. And if I only get 20, I'll go ahead and take it just to like guarantee the reward. Now, 23 is what you have to get everything. There's 25 balloons, though. So you can miss a few. So if I miss one, not too big of a worry. It's recommended. The recommended speed that you're supposed to go on for your horse is go fast enough so that the spurs appear, but don't actually use the spurs. That's apparently the best way to handle like that shit. And also, some people recommend for the very end of the course, when you reach like the last 5 balloons, to just jump off the horse and then go to bullet time, and shoot them all. I don't know if you have to land back on the horse with that, if you can run out the timer in bullet time, or if you land on the ground, if it would cancel shit. Because if you land on the ground and cancel shit, then it's like, I'm not sure how much I want to use that strategy. But if it still counts all the balloons that you popped before you landed on the ground, that's not a problem then. I'm not entirely sure how that operates, but I got like the 3 tiers of Gerudo Shield right now. That's kind of funny. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and mute the screen. rework my game audio, which is probably going to involve unplugging the switch. You might fuck up your screen a little bit, and then find something to listen to. So I'll see you in a bit.
Hey! Hey! Oh! Sa! Oh! Yay! Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Okay, well, 20 targets. You've got some fire in you, young man. The best archers say targets seem to freeze when they concentrate on them. I think you can reach that level too. Here's a gift I've been travels. Hope you find a good use for it. Alright, Knight's Bridle. Hylian knights once outfitted their horses with bridle that boasts additional armor to protect the horse's head and neck. Well, you want to drill some more? Okay, so now I'm going to try. Actually, hold on. I will stop real quick in order to save that I've gotten that one. And then I'll start grinding out for 23.
Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh. Oh. Oh.
All right, there we go. 23 targets. It's been a dog's age since I've seen such talent from someone so young. What do you mean you're not that young? Over 100 years old? Go ahead, pull the other one. Anyway, this gift is my thanks for putting on a good show. I'm past needing it, and I think you should have it. The knight's saddle. Hyrulean knights favored the saddle. Only the most elite among them were allowed to outfit their mounts with it. Well, you want to dress some more? No, I'm in a hurry. Don't be a stranger, young man. I'll be waiting here for you. Come wind or storm. You and your horse are something else. Promise you won't get careless. I won't. Okay. Well, bada bing, bada boom. That's the mounted archery camp done. Now I want to go back to the stable, and we'll do the horse archery, the horse obstacle course. Okay. So I did do some looking into the horse archery course. I think around 3 or 5 guides from different people. The general consensus that I've gotten is that it is unironically broken. Apparently, much like with that mini game, the speed you want to go is when your spurs show up, but don't actually use the spurs. That's how fast you have to go to like get over going too far or anything like that. But problem comes in when it comes to the horse's speed stats. Apparently, I kind of guessed that this might be the case, but I wasn't positive. All the horses have that speed stat on like the board of like 1 to 5. And I knew for a fact that affected their like actual sprinting speed, and I was pretty sure it affected the number of spurs. But it also affects their gallop, if you will. They're kind of like when the spurs show up, but you aren't using them. It affects that speed too. And a lot of people have been learning in this game, and they've realized that if you have a speed 4 or 5 horse, its gallop is too fast for some of the turns. Like, again, he recommends, go a little bit slow. Apparently, even just the casual speed of some of those high-end horses are too high to actually beat the puzzle. And so it's almost more beneficial to bring in a bit of a shittier horse to try and take the challenge. Apparently, a lot of people were struggling with the exact same jump that I was, the one next to the rock. That one apparently gets people all of the damn time. Apparently sprinting is okay for the first couple, like I was doing, to just get across the field. That's okay. Apparently, some people recommend going through the course backwards. I think I mentioned that previously, that I was like, I wonder how effective it is. Apparently that is pretty effective. I'm probably not going to do that right now because it'll fuck me up a little bit. And there is one like big issue that comes with this challenge that also affects the mounted archery a little bit, but not as badly. As you may know, when you make a maximum bond with your horse, that horse will start following paths. Turns out that following path AI overrides the mini-games. When you're in the mini-games, even though you're not exploring the world, when you're in the mini-games, the horse will still try to follow the paths, even though those jumps are not along the path. And of course, if you have a shitty horse you haven't like bonded with at all, that one won't auto-take the paths, but also it won't listen to your commands when you're trying to do the fine-tuning of controlling it. So, like, in the grand scheme of things, a slightly shittier horse is better for this, like, mini-game than, like, a high-end horse. So, I'm gonna go to Blub. I cannot remember if Blub is a 3. He is only a 2 speed, and so Blub might even be too slow for this one. I might have to go try and catch a 3-speed horse just for this puzzle, but I'm going to try it with Blue because apparently that will go better than using my Epona, who's not actually Epona. Apparently this might actually be more beneficial. This is the one that's going to be very grindy, though. If I'm at this for, I don't know, like an hour or something, I might just cave and go do the trial of the sword. Because that might unironically be slower. And actually, I've already forgotten what the goals are for this puzzle. I think like the hard mode is 1 minute 30, but I can't remember what the easy mode was. I'm actually go ahead and look that up before turning the audio off. I'm pretty sure minute 30 is the hard mode, but I think a minute 15 then. Yeah, okay. A minute 30 is the easy mode. A minute 15 is the hard mode, which that's going to be even more challenging. than I gave it credit for. But we're going to try grinding this one out.
Hi. Hmm?
Your time was 1:17, huh? Now that's a good run. You get better every time you ride. Here's that horse gear I promised you. Keep at it, and maybe you'll someday be on my level. Ah, man. If it counted getting through the last hoop instead of getting back to the thing, I would have actually had it there. Extravagant bridle. Most often used in festivals, this gem of a bridle is decorated with some charming little feathers. It's great for adding just a little splash of color to any horse. Want to try again? I'll go save first before brush up on your skills, right? Damn, I was very close, though. Again, I might have to cave and go get a 3-speed horse, because this is a 2-speed horse. And it's like, okay, yeah, not using the spurs at that speed, that was very manageable. But still, I think I either have to sprint like near the end after I get past the rocks, or I need to go get a 3-speed horse. I think is how this is gonna go. But I'll give it a shot.
Oh. Hi.
Your time was minute 13, huh? Holy smoke, would you look at that? Never thought I'd see the day. But a man's gotta abide by his word, so here's the horse gear I promised. I'll admit, I'm feeling low down after all that. Maybe someday I'll be back on top. You'll see. I'll try again. No thanks. Brush up your skills and take another run at it, alright? Okay, good. This saved. The ornamental saddle is used in festivals. The delicate embroidery and arrangement of gems leaves a lasting impression. It's perfect for those that want to stand out. Okay, so that didn't actually take as long as I was expecting to. 40 minutes for both of them. Actually, no, wait, no, 10 of that was just me showing off the amiibo. So yeah, half an hour to grind those two out. Not that bad at all. So next up is the Trial of the Sword, which I want to do a little bit of prep for before we actually do it. Well, actually, first off, on the note of horse gear, I have no idea where I was getting 8 pieces of horse gear from. Apparently there's only 7, and the default one is included. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, no. Oh, that's right. There's wait. Hold on. Sort inventory. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 bridles and 5 saddles. We got the other bridle and saddle. That's just the default. The 7th one is exclusive to, I think it's the Archer. No, not the Archer. The Rider Link amiibo. The one that's on horseback. That gets you a bonus one. There is no 8th one. I have no idea where I was getting 8 from. So now we have all the horse armor, which is very cool. So now I need to go farm Endura carrots and dragon horns. So I'm gonna mute again. Alright, I'm going to check in real quick because I'm about to start the beginning trials. Now, the beginning trials I don't think are going to be that bad because my first time properly getting them, I was like 3 hits away from killing the Hinox. And so now that I've gotten way more hearts and combat, I think I should be able to handle it, a little bit more. Even still, I thought I'd talk a little bit about some strategy that I have heard since then. First off, stasising the whiz robes, which I don't think I've ever even considered before. I think it was only one whiz robe in trials, but even still, that's gonna save a shit ton of fighting. Knocking the Black Moblin in the second to last room into the water, that's a very good strat. I think I might have tried that with the goblins, but I don't think I tried it with the Moblin when I was doing it. But if you can get the Black Moblin to fall in the water, he will die instantly. The big thing I want to talk about, though, is the Hinox, because I've got some tips for the Hinox. Number one is, usually when I fight the Hinoxes, I try to stun lock them, or I try to shoot them in the eye and then keep my arrow lined up so the second they stand up, I hit them in the eye again. That's how I usually fight the Hinoxes in the overworld. Well, with your more limited amount of arrows and whatnot in the trials, that is not quite as effective as it would be. And so it is recommended that you do the more proper strat of shoot them in the eye, then run in and hit them when they're down, and then run away as they're getting back up. First off, yeah, that's something a lot of people suggest I do, which I usually don't do because I don't like getting that risky and close to the Hinox, but it takes forever to kill them if you don't do that. The second thing is using stasis on Hinoxes, which I might have mentioned this during the Hinox on, I don't know, because a lot of times they'll cover their eye when they get low enough on health, and so you can't stun lock them. Well, the trick around that is you stasis them, and then you shoot them in the eye when they're stasis, and it still counts. I was never really sure with stasis how much shit like that counts. If you stasis something and then got a headshot, or you stasis a fire enemy and use a ice weapon, I was never sure if that would properly register with the game, and so I didn't really risk it most of the time. But I have checked some guides and I verified that, yeah, you can stasis a Hinox and then hit its eye. So hopefully with those two like alterations to the combat, we can actually take down the Synox. Fingers crossed, because I don't know. Yup. Yup. Man, I really choked on the room with like the 3 lizzles on like the like wooden like boom like the platform and whatnot. I lost a lot of hearts there, and that made me like very nervous during the final fight in the Hinox because I thought I was gonna choke. My attack buff up actually lasted all the way through. If you notice, I kind of avoided eating my food with buffs just to preserve the attack up as long as I could. And wow, just barely made it through with it. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen here. Oh, this is a fancy one. It kind of looks like the Final Chamber with Ganon, but not halved and more blue. To the one chosen by the Sacred Blade, I commend your efforts in this trial. You are now strong enough to wield more of the Master Sword's power than ever before. Courageous hero, chosen by the Blade. Take hold of the Master Sword. What if I just yeeted myself into the abyss? Oh, okay, I think I see how this is going to work. I'm going to go up there and get that one. Then we finish the middle trials, and I go up and get that sword. Then I finish the last trials, and I go up and see the monk and actual like King and Cage. That's how this is going to work. I mean, the floating platforms are cool and all, dude, but would it kill you to like put up a railing, you know? This seems like a health and safety violation. I imagine if I fell off, it would just use up 1 heart and I'd respawn like at the pedestal. But okay, all right. I'm assuming this isn't going to say anything special. Yeah, it's just the Master Sword on the camera. Bolt. I thought I was going to have the 13 hearts again. I was like, oh shit, that's going to make this a lot more complicated. Actually surprised that the Hinox fight almost felt easier than the other two, like last year was before it this time around. I think because I was just kind of being more aggressive with the Hinox, I suppose. Ah, you finally returned. You look stronger than when I last saw you. The Master Sword you wield is now more powerful than before. Link's conquest and the trial of the sword have amplified its splendor. If you desire still more power and wish to retry the blade's test, once again place the Master Sword in its pedestal. Okay. All right. So I figured we might discuss the strategy of the middle trials a little bit. I don't think I'm going to jump into them right now. I think I'm going to take a quick break after I go over some of the strats. Just let calm down because my hands were shaking there a bit in the last couple ones. Let me see if there's anything super interesting that I should talk about as far as strats go. there's one room with like a bunch of Boko archers that almost all have elemental arrows, and I feel like that room probably would have killed me if I was going in blind. For one thing. There's 2 guardian turrets, in one in each like section of this next trial. I've gotten pretty good at shield parrying the guardians, but it still is a little bit risky, especially with how little armor these trials give you. And so I don't know if I'll actually be able to pull that one off, but I'll give it my best shot. And then the main sort of gimmicks of these ones, because for those ones the gimmicks were forest and lake, which I didn't really catch on when I was playing the first time. But for this one, the first gimmick is wind, where there'll be a lot of like wind tunnels that will sort of like you can like blow up to like climb cliffs and whatnot with a bunch of like goblins all around the room. So that's kind of interesting. The second one is actually probably the coolest of like the new themings. It's like in the dark. It's like a cave sort of theme, and so it's really hard to see the enemies. And there's another Hinox fight for that one. But since we managed to conquer that one, and they're probably enough stronger tools, even though I'll be blind a bit, it shouldn't be that bad. At least I hope it's not that bad. And then the third section of this is a bunch of fights against Guardian Scouts. If I remember correctly, it's like mostly like the Mark 1 Scouts for like the early game. Then I think there's like a bit where you fight... I think you fight 3 minor tests of strength guys, but you can kind of take them on separately. Then you fight like 2 major tests of strength guys, but you have to fight them at the same time. And then it ends with a major test of strength, which is kind of concerning because that last like wind-up attack that the people major tests of strength have can be pretty devastating. It's very strong. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to switch back to game audio, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break. All right. Again, the buff like just about made it to the very end. Man, that was actually kind of like by the skin of my teeth. I'll be honest. The Guardian portion actually felt easier than the In the Dark portion. That might just be because I've done all the shrines at this point, and so I'm used to fighting the little Guardian guys. But like, man, those Lizzles in the dark, a lot like harder than I expected. Also, I think that chest that I knocked off that fell into the void when I tried to like hit the balloon, that must have been ice arrows, because I heard some people recommending using ice arrows on the Fire Wiz robes. But I never found those by that point, and so that must have been what was in that chest that I just like completely lost. Actually, you know what? You know what? You know what? It's gonna wipe my inventory, so this doesn't fucking matter, but I'm just gonna grab him anyway. Alright. And we're back here. And then you have to go all the way up again. Which is grand. To the one chosen by the sacred blade, I commend your efforts in this trial. You're now strong enough to wield more of the Master Sword's power than ever before. Courageous hero chosen by the blade. Take hold of the Master Sword. Oh, I just kind of noticed like the decorations like along the sides. You got like, I'm assuming that's the Great Deku Tree, like a tree, and then that would be Death Mountain. Yeah, that's Polemius Mountain, and that's the circular mountain that Ruta stands on. I guess that must be Mount Lanaru. Those are the pillars where the Kakariko village is. There's the Dueling Peaks. That big mound must be kind of like back in like Mount Floria and the Faron Woods and whatnot, and that must be the lake. There's the Great Plateau. Oh, there is Naboris in Gerudo, and then the Gerudo Highlands. Then some of the Ridgeland trees, and then there's a meadow in the Rito village, and there's Mount Hebra. Okay, well then that means that Ruta. Oh, I think that is Ruta. Oh yeah, I thought that was the platform she was standing on, but that is Ruta. Is Rudania? Oh, that might be him. That might be Rudania. Wait, no. Oh no, he's carved out of the mountain. Oh, okay. And then I think that is definitely Ruta, like kind of in the water. Oh, that's nice. That's pretty cool. That must mean that the dueling. Well, no, this is an illusionary realm. Never mind. I was gonna say that must mean the dueling peaks happened back by the calamity, but no, that doesn't mean anything because it's an illusion realm. It's all from my head. The Hinox is actually super easy to kill this time. And actually, the base chest of strength wasn't even as bad as I was expecting. You finally returned. You look much stronger than when I last saw you. The master sword you wield is now more powerful than before. Link's conquest of the trail, is an amplified splendor. To more power and wish to retry the blade's test. Once again, place the master sword on the pedestal. Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest. My nerves are a little bit on edge after all of that. Why am I not taking that? My nerves are still like a little bit shot from that one, and so I kind of want to take another break for the master trials, and so I think I might as well just separate it into a different stream. That feels like a little bit bad, not doing everything in one go, but like God, I think I'm probably gonna go for like 30 minutes or an hour and just kind of cool off. Maybe that's not the best idea. I might like hammer my combat skills, but like I'll need to like, but like the hard trials, first off, of course, they're have stronger enemies. So, of course, they're, like, harder. But then also, the first trial was, like, 12. This trial was, like, 16. The last one is, like, 0.3. It's, like, half as long as the beginner trials. Which, granted, means that there's a lot more safe rooms to, like, stock up on, like, the healing items. But, like, even still, like, fucking up there is gonna, like, take back a lot. So, I think I'm gonna take a bit of a breather. So, thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.